Hello, welcome to the channel. I'm the self-proclaimed Blue Dragon. Thank you to my new subscribers on this channel. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed the videos. I am trying to edit a little bit better, but this video is probably going to be boring unless you read my free, not safe for work webcomic Dark Horse. Links down in the description. It is rated M for mature. This is the monthly Q&A. This is where I answer questions that I've gotten from my patrons at the $5 level and higher. And also I try to answer questions that I've gotten on my webcomic and other places around the net. So if you'd like to just chill and listen to me babble, in the background I'm working on the ink job for the cover of Act 10 of the revamp of Dark Horse. Act 10 is titled Awakenings. It's the same title that I had over on Comic Fury, but I have cut up the chapter a bit and we're getting ready to release that, and I will talk about that later in the video. I'm going to be answering these questions in the order of Dark Horse questions, and then I'm going to answer questions that are art related that I received. First up, why, if Rin doesn't have her sword yet, is it in her dream? This is regarding the dream sequence that I've been working on for the Comic Fury Zine, which is going to release in early July. She's holding a sword which is titled Estacada. It is going to be something that is revealed later in the comic. I don't particularly feel this is that much of a spoiler. My characters are going to have weapons that are specific to them. This point in the comic, she doesn't have any weapons. She's only just discovered her magical power, so why is this sword in her dream? And this is going to kind of tie back into when I was discussing in an earlier Q&A, I don't remember which one it is, but somebody had asked, you know, their magical girl, magical boy, magical person outfits, why they are the way they are. Specifically, like Kana, unlike Reena, who is half Caucasian American, half Japanese, Reena's outfit is not a kimono, whereas Kana, who is of, I think, Polish-American background, is what I have her as, Polish and German. She has a kimono for her magical girl outfit. And that's tied into the individual's personality and the things that they are interested in. So Kana, you know, being close friends with Reena, has been fascinated with the stuff that she's seen from Reena's mom's side of the family. So because she's interested in kimonos and she likes that fashion and the way it looks culturally, when she does her transformation, her outfit is a kimono, at least as she views it. It might not necessarily be correct. It might not be what kimonos actually look like. I did try to look at them because she would have seen them hanging out with Reena. But that's why her costume, or I should say outfit, is a kimono, whereas Reena, she's more interested in like the fantastical, Arabian Nights, or just anything fantasy related at all, and therefore her outfit is a little more imaginative because she does have a very active imagination, and she's kind of, this is how she visualizes what her own outfit would look like. So kind of tying in with like that same concept, even though she doesn't have a weapon yet, the weapons when they form are connected with their magic, with their soul power, which I also talked about in other videos, Q&A videos. I have like a whole series on like the magic system in Dark Horse, even though it hasn't really come up much in the comic. You can check those out if you want in the playlist. If you're on YouTube, if you're on BitChute, they're not uploaded there, so if you want to, you can come over to YouTube and check those out, because I'm probably not gonna upload them onto BitChute. Sorry, it's just too much of a backlog. But this sword is something that she herself has created, and the same will be true with the other characters as they progress in their skill level. So this sword is something that she's kind of made up in her own mind long ago, long before ever getting magical girl powers. So we're seeing it in this dream sequence because it's something that she's imagined, that she's kind of had in mind. And once she finally does get that power, once she figures out how to materialize her own soul power, then she will be able to make a weapon, and that weapon is going to be of her design. So that's why Estacada is in this dream sequence, and I know that's kind of a really long explanation, and if you're not really familiar with the comic or my videos, it's going to be a little confusing, but I tried to break it down as clearly as possible, because they are going to be similar to Magic Knight Rayearth, which is one of my favorite Clamp mangas. They're going to have weapons and things that kind of evolve with them because they are of the person, and as the person grows and improves in their skill, then their ability to materialize and use magic is going to improve and grow as well. So I hope that answers the question. I'm going to mark it off my list here. Thank you for that question. Question number 2. When does Dark Horse return to Webtoons? It's coming. As I just mentioned, in the background, I'm working on the cover. It's similar to the original cover that I had up on Comic Fury, but I've made some tweaks, fixed some proportions, and I'm really happy with my edits and, skill level, my growth from 2019 when I originally drew this cover. And because I'm getting things done with the Comic Fury zine, we're going to be returning to Webtoons with Dark Horse Act 10 Awakenings on July 7th. That's Ringo Starr's birthday. I'm a big fan of the Beatles. I try to sneak little Beatle references in there. They're not really important to the story, but they make me feel good. So I decided I'm going to have the first announcement be on a Thursday instead of the regular Monday-Friday schedule, which is what I've been doing this year in 2022. But we will return on July 7th. I'll have a page on Friday, so I'm not going to skimp out on that update. And then we'll return to the Monday-Friday update schedule from there throughout the rest of this act. So I'm on schedule. I'm a little earlier. It's not even been a month and a half, or it will have been a month and a half approximately. And usually I take on a 2-month break, but I somehow managed to, I guess the pressure of having to travel between here and Illinois and just having to be organized and hold myself to the grindstone. I've actually been able to keep up on my schedule, so getting the zine done real quick has really, and I gotta thank the contributors for, being on the ball and getting their end of the work done so that that's possible. But yeah, I'm actually able to work on my own comic again. I'm still on hiatus over on Comic Fury, y'all, but I'm working as hard as I can to catch up so that we can pick up and progress the story. So thank you, whether you're reading on Tapas, Webtoons, Comic Fury, or my main website. Thank you all so much for your patience. We're coming back with the revamp July 7th. It'll be on Webtoons, and once it's completed, I'll update it immediately, all in one chunk on Comic Fury. So yeah, that's what's going on. Thank you for that question. I'm really excited to be getting back to posting because I know that, you can kind of lose readers, especially on Webtoons if you take too long of a break. So I'm getting there. We're getting there. Those were all the Dark Horse questions I've got. Since there haven't been too many posts, that's about all that I've got. So let's move into some other questions that I've received. These are regarding materials because I've been kind of doing some videos where I'm experimenting with some different materials and stuff. So regarding the Copic marker paper, this is the next question I got, or that I have on my list at least. Do you like the Copic marker paper? I do. It's a lot sturdier than it looks, and this is not sponsored, by the way. I'm just answering the question. If I recall, because I bought it several years ago at Gen Con, I think like maybe 2015 or 2016. This was like years ago. That should tell you how long it takes me to get my butt in gear and use this stuff. But I like it. It's good for markers. The ink, goes on it pretty well. It's got enough tooth that it glides fine with the pen, with the nib that I use. It bleeds through on the other side of the paper, but I don't think that it actually bled through onto the cardboard that I had under it. So it holds up pretty well, and it works very well for alcohol markers, or at least for the Copic alcohol markers. Will I use it all the time, though? That's not really a question here, but no, I kind of hold those things to be precious, and I save those for special projects, so I'm not going to be, like, using it all the time. But if I have, like, a Copic marker thing that I'm doing, yeah, I'll use the paper for that. It's pretty nice. Next one, because I had mentioned, I think in, I don't know if it was last week's video or the week before, maybe it was that Pretty in Pastel video, I can't remember, y'all, I'm sorry. But somebody asked, do you like Ohuhu markers? Because I'd kind of put up a quick text that was talking about how Ohuhu is starting to come out with refillable alcohol markers, probably because customers have been wanting that for a long time from what I hear. At least from what I hear watching, you know, different YouTubers, art YouTubers online. But have I personally used them? No, I haven't. So I can't say if I like them or not. So I guess I'm not going to really answer that question, but you can find YouTubers who use them. Drawing with Waffles, Lucid Neema, or Neema, I think it's Neema. Maybe even Bailey J, but I can't remember. But there's lots of YouTubers out there that use Ohuhu markers. She's a smaller channel, but Jenna Gets Creative. She uses them a lot, and she does really in-depth reviews. So I'm going to put a link to her website down in the description because she is a smaller YouTuber, and I think that she deserves some more credit just because of all the work she does. And her art is very pretty as well. I like it. She does like a lot of mandalas and all kinds of stuff. So go check out Jenna Gets Creative if you want to know more. I'm pretty sure she uses them. And she always gives like super in-depth reviews about stuff. So if you're looking to learn more about a product, that's probably the channel you should go to. But the other people that I mentioned also have used Ohuhu too. So yeah. Let's move on to the last question. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm in a hurry. I don't want to bore people to death, and I've just got so much on my plate that I am kind of rushing through these questions, and I'm sorry. But I want to keep your attention span also. I don't think that most people want to hear me babble on for 20 minutes regarding these questions. So let's get to the last question after that long explanation. God, I'm so defensive, y'all. I'm sorry. I have absolutely no reason to be defensive too, but anyway, I don't want to be misunderstood. Is there an order you like to color in? And is there an order you like to ink in? Is there an order you like to draw in? Okay, so I'm going to answer this in the way that I interpret it. I don't really pay much attention to what I color first. I feel like I usually, if I'm on the computer in Photoshop, I usually go to color the face and the hair first, I think. And then I kind of move like out to the clothing and accessories and stuff from there. And then I will do like the shading and adding light if I'm going to add a light source and stuff like that, which I don't really do that too terribly much. I do add the shading, but I'm worse about adding a light source. I just don't a lot of times. My stuff looks very cartoony, and I'm fine with that. That's fine. But that's kind of, I think, the order that I like to do things in. I really just kind of do it subconsciously. I'm not even really thinking about it when I'm doing it. Regarding inking, you know, when I ink, I always, because I'm right-handed, I go from left to right, from upper to lower as much as possible so that I don't smear the ink. I'm not always the best at that. Sometimes I'll mess up and I'll go and smear something, but that's usually the order in which I ink. And then whenever I'm sketching or drawing, I usually do the heads first. I know some people like to do the torsos first. I just almost always start with the head because I don't feel I'm a skilled enough artist to start with the torso. I gotta make sure that I'm measuring things in terms of the head. So that's kind of why I usually start with the head so that I can, you know, start higher up on the paper and make sure that the character is going to be on it. Because it can be, you know, well, sometimes you might, you know, have characters where you've got them chopped off at like the legs or maybe at the torso. Generally speaking, you know, as a beginner artist, I never saved enough space for the entire full body character. And as time has gone by, I've tried to make sure that I amend that mistake, because while some people are doing it intentionally, I was just doing it because I didn't know what I was doing and I couldn't really measure things. It's like when you're writing on a banner like happy birthday so-and-so and you start out really freaking big and then your text gets like tinier and tinier as you go along. It's just that lack of judgment of space, which is why I tend to start with the head. Although I'm probably getting to a point finally where I could probably not have to do that, but it's kind of where I like to start. Head, sketching out like the general idea of the pose, and then going in for like the face, and then the rest of the body. I kind of go from there, and I do generally go from top to bottom with my characters, I think, from what I've observed. Again, it's a lot of it is like subconscious, so it's not necessarily intentional. It's intentional, but I might not be like realizing that I'm doing it. It's second nature, I should say. And that's all the questions that I've got right now. So we'll go ahead and close the video. First off, I want to thank my patrons. I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I also want to thank my Subscribestar member. Oh my gosh, that person is at the $5 level for Subscribestar, and I can't thank them enough. I do a pin-up every month, so I hope they're enjoying that artwork. And then I also want to thank my subscribers and watchers, anybody watching this, either on YouTube or BitChute. Thank you so much. Even if you're not subscribed, I appreciate it, although it would be cool if you subscribe. But don't do it only if you want to. Only do it if you want to. I don't like pressuring people into watching stuff that they're not interested in. That's silliness. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close the video. Peace and love, fare you well, and keep on trucking. Question number 2. When does dark hurt? Oh god.